טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. Join me here in the sanctuary. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. Hine ma tov, hine ma tov, umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Boker tov, everyone. Welcome. Bruchim habaim and Shabbat shalom. It is a beautiful early spring day. Outside, it's a little chilly. Inside, the warmth of all of you who have come here to celebrate Shabbat with us, to celebrate Leah, to help a family and a community embrace and welcome a new adult in our midst. As Leah becomes a Bat Mitzvah today here in our congregation, as you would imagine, she'll be leading us in worship. She'll be inviting all of us, whether you are here in the sanctuary, whether you are on the live stream, whether you are on Zoom, everyone in your different element to participate in your own way. We hope you'll feel comfortable doing that, to create. We'll feel you. We'll feel through the e-waves, your participation, your involvement, your energy coming to us. And indeed, we hope everyone will participate, right?
And one of the ways you can participate is by having the prayer book in front of you. So under your seats, you will find our Mishkan Tefillah prayer book. And if you're watching on Zoom, I believe that we might be able to put the link to the prayer book in the chat for you, so you can just click on that. It'll show up on the screen, and you can type in the page numbers as we call them. If you're watching on our streaming site, right above the window of our video, you'll see a little icon that looks like this, and you can click on it, and that prayer book will open. All the page numbers that Leah or that we tell you about, you should be able to find with no problem.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just helping everybody get under your seats or under a different chair. There we go. We've had a few different books in the room. So before we turn to this very prayer book, before we invite Leah to be our service leader, it's our custom to pause at this moment in the service to invite the parents of our Bat Mitzvah, Deb and Ryan, to take a moment with their daughter to speak their own words of love and blessing on this very special day. So Deb and Ryan, won't you take a moment with Leah, a private moment as a family, as we also share some words of blessing with you from our community.
To a land that I will show you. Lech lecha, to a place you do not know. Lechi lach, on your journey I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi lach. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi lach. And now we are ready to turn to page 195 in your prayer books. We'll invite Leah to the podium here, and as we begin with the call to worship, the Baruch Hu, Leah then will take over with the first few prayers of this section of our service. We invite everyone to please rise. Page 195, please join me in the Baruch Hu. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai.
Please join me in Yotzer Or if you are comfortable with the Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzer Or uvorei hoshech, oseh shalom uvorei et hakol, hameir la'aretz v'la'adarim aleha b'rachamim, uvtuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid, Maseh v'reishit, Marabu masech Adonai, Kulam behochma asita, Mala haaretz kinyanecha. Tibarach Adonai Eloheinu, Al shevach maseh yadecha, Ve'al mirei or, She'asita yifa'aru hasela, Or hadash al Sion ta'ir, V'nizkei kulanu mehira le'oro. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer ha'meorot. Our service continues on page 198 with the first paragraph of Ahava Rabbah. Please join me. Ahava Rabbah ahavtanu, Adonai Eloheinu, Chem lagidol avitera, Chamalta aleinu, Ba'avor avoteinu, Ve'imotenu, Shebachu v'cha, Shebachu v'cha, V'adlamdem hukei chayim, Kein tichonenu u'tlamdenu, Hamrachem rachem aleinu, V'tein b'libeinu lehavin, U'lehaskil, Lishmoa le'lmod u'le'lamed, Lishmor v'la'aseh tu'kayim, Et kol divrei Talmud Toratecha b'ava. We continue in English responsively on the next page. O God, inspiration and guide for all, you have spoken in 1,000 tongues for us to hear. In every land and every age, your children have heard you and imagined you in separate ways. And yet, O God, you are one, unifier of humanity.
We give thanks for the sages and teachers, who bring us understanding of your will. Gratefully we recall the lawgivers and prophets, the psalmists and sages of Israel. And joyfully we remember that from the dawn of Israel's life, we would turn to you and find purpose.
May the teachings of our ancestors live on in our minds, and their passion for righteousness stir our hearts. Help us to live so that our daily conduct reveals the beauty and wisdom of your truth. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher b'yamo Yisrael be'ahava.
Amen. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. Please join me as we chant Ve'ahavta together on page 201. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברתם בם בשבתך בביתך ובלעשך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות להם לאלוהים. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Please join me in the English. Love Adonai your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the door of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. Page 203. Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect. The song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content. Her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Please join us, page 204, Mi Chamocha. Mi Chamocha Bailim Adonai, Mi Chamocha Nedar Bakodesh, Nora Tehilot, Osef Ele, Nora Tehilot, Osef Ele, Shira Chadasha, Shibehu Geulim, Leshimcha Sefat בים, יחד כולם הודו והמלכו, והמלכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יאי לי, יאי לי, 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 יאי לי, 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 יאי לי, יאי לי, 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 יאי לי, 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 לי. צו ישראל קומה בעזרת ישראל, ופדהינו ממך יהודה וישראל. גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. We continue now with the tefillah section of our service. It begins on page 205. I invite you to rise. At home, to rise if you're comfortable. Page 205, we join together in chanting the first few prayers together. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Page 206. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imaot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'nehem, Lema'an Shemo Be'achava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Ata Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah. On page 207, let's read together in the English, the bottom of the page. You are the open door that beckons me in, peeking around the doorframe. I begin to enter into your glory. You move me forward, O Eternal, to step beyond self-made boundaries. Lift my foot over the threshold that I might abide with you. In the house of the Eternal, I found my questions, waiting to be posed. They filled me with wonder. Sit with me, eternal teacher, encouraging my seeking. As I fill my hours with your mitzvot, so shall I be filled. Send me through your door, stretching up to honor your name, sharing out this wonder, enriching myself in the giving. Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to all. We continue with the Kedusha, page 208. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני, אדוננו מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני במקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו ומלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהינו, עליכם. ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש, לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
To all generations we will make known your greatness, and to all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Please be seated, everyone. Please be seated at home, here in our sanctuary. This day is so very special, of course, because it is this day for you, Leah, when you take on a new status in the Jewish community. But it is also the celebration of Shabbat. There's a beautiful reading on page 211 at the bottom that captures the specialness of Shabbat. The meaning of Shabbat is to celebrate time rather than space. 6 days a week we live under the tyranny of things of space. On Shabbat we try to become attuned to holiness in time. It is a day on which we are called upon to share in what is eternal in time, to turn from the results of creation to the mystery of creation, from the world of creation to the creation of the world. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. On the next page, Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ba'amcha Yisrael, utefilatam ba'ahava tekabel, utehi l'ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Baruch atah Adonai she'otcha levadcha b'yira na'avod. We praise you, Adonai, whom alone we serve in reverence. As we move through this section of our service, our concluding prayer in this rubric is one of peace. We always end with prayers for peace, peace for ourselves, our community, and the world. And this week certainly has put that call out into the world. We need peace so badly. So won't you join us on page 216 in Sim Shalom, a prayer for peace.
Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha, Chen v'chesed v'rachamim, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha, Chen v'chesed v'rachamim, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, al kol Yisrael amecha.
And after that beautiful song of peace, we take a peaceful moment for our own private, our own individual prayers.
Shalom bimromav, uya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom, shalom bimromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amen. Oseh shalom, shalom bimromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael amen. Well, everyone, we've come to the central part of our service this morning, Leah, where you'll be reading from the Sefer Torah, the Torah portion that you've been preparing for today from the book of Leviticus, and in just a few moments you'll tell us what that portion is about. The Torah service has special ceremony to it, and we're actually going to be passing down the tradition of Torah from your grandparents' generation, Leah, all the way down to you. It's a special moment in the lives of your family. And so I'd like to invite everyone to turn to the Torah service, which is page 244, to invite your mom, Deb, to take our Carpathian Torah. And Deb, not to make you nervous or anything, but that Torah is 350 years old, so don't drop it. But you can imagine that this Torah has seen the world and seen all kinds of things, and now you and your family are taking your place holding this Torah and passing it down from generation to generation. So Deb, I'm going to invite you to take the Torah, Leah and your dad Ryan to come forward, along with your grandparents, who I actually want to first say Mazel Tov to Len and Corrine Parver, who are here with us in the sanctuary. I'm so happy that you're here with us, and we're going to invite the two of you to stand with your family as well. To come forward, while all of us please rise. Ein kamocha va'elohim Adonai, ve'ein kemasecha. Malechutecha, malechut kol olamim, umemshaltecha bechol dor v'dor. Ryan, you have special words to say to Leah?
Leah, as you receive this Torah, remember its teachings, its wisdom, and its history. Let it guide you this day and all days. As you embrace it, so may you embrace what is meant for the Jewish people over the generations. Judaism is history and hope, learning, and laughter. We pray that the story of the Jewish people continues brightly with you as you grow as a person and as a Jew. May you embrace the Torah your whole life.
Leah, won't you join us as we all together sing the words of our people, the Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo. Now, Leah, you're going to hand the Torah back to your mom. And if you will, Leah and Ryan, if you can prepare the Torah, the Torah we're going to read from, as we sing together the words, and everyone else can be seated. Lecha Adonai hagedula v'hagevura v'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'hahod ki chol b'shamayim uva Ki chol b'shamayim Leah, won't you tell us what your Torah portion is about?
The Torah portion for this Shabbat that I will be reading is called Tazria Metzora. It comes from the book of Leviticus, and my Hebrew reading begins with chapter 13, verse 47. In this portion, we also read how mildew and fungus appear on garments, causing a similar concern to the Israelites.
For the first aliyah of the Torah, we're going to invite back your grandparents, Kareen and Len Parver. Ya amdu ha'olim la aliyah la Torah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Amen. V'habeged ki yavo nega saratz beveged samer o beveged pishtim o vishti o verev la pishtim v'la samer o vaor o bechol melechet or V'haya hanega yirak rak o adam dam babeged o vaor o vasheti o vaerev o b'chol klior nega saratu v'hora et hakohen v'ra hakohen et hanaga V'hizgir et hanega shivat yamim.
Yashukah, beautiful job, Leah. And now your grandparents can lead us in the blessing after.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Yashukah to you, Len and Kareen. You all may have a seat. And now for the second aliyah, Leah, which begins with Leviticus chapter 13, verse 51. We invite your aunt and uncle who are here in the sanctuary with us, David Parver and Maya Gadovsky. Ya amdu ha'olim la aliyah la Torah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach.
Leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Amen. V'ra'a et hanega bayom hashevi. Ki fasa hanaga babeged. O vasheti, o vaerev, o vaor. Lechol asher yaseh haor. Limlacha. Sarat mameret hanega tamehu V'sarafet habeged o et hasheti o et ha'erev Basemer o vapishtim o et kokili haor Asher yihyavo hanaga Kisarat mam eret hi baesh tisaref ve'im yirei hakohen v'hinei lo fasa hanega babeged o vasheti o va'erev o bichol klior V'tziva hakohen v'hibesu et asher bo hanaga v'hizgiro shivat yamim sheni.
Beautiful job, Leah. And now David and Maya.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torah emet. v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yashikok to you. Thank you both very much, and you guys can return to your seats. And now, Leah, for your third Aliyah, which begins with Leviticus chapter 13, verse 55, we get to call you by your Hebrew name, now for the first time as a Bat Mitzvah. And I hope you're sitting down because you have 4 Hebrew names. Going to take a long time to get all these right. So here we go. Ta'amod, 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 habachura ha-bat mitzvah, Leah, Rivka, Shoshana, Malka, Bat Devorah, Gittel, V'Ryan, La'aliyah, La Torah, Chazak. And now you can begin with the blessings.
Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vira'ah hakohen aharei hukabes et hanega, v'hinei lo hafach hanega et eino, v'hanega lo fasa tamehu, ba'esh tizrefenu pechet et hi bikarachto v'gabachto, ve'im ra'ah hakohen v'hinei kehanega acharei hukabes oto v'karach oto min habeged o min haor o min hashiti o min ha'erev v'im terei od babeged o vashiti o va'erev o b'chol klior parachati ba'esh tizrefenu et asher bo hanaga v'habeged o hashiti o ha'erev o chol kli ha'or asher tichubes v'sar mehem hanaga v'chuba shenit v'taher.
Beautiful job, Leah. Now the blessing after.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yashikok to you. Really beautifully done, Leah. And now, Leah, we're going to invite your brother Bobby to come help dress the Torah along with your cousins Noah and Talia. So we ask the congregation to rise as we sing together the words of our tradition. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael, al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. Yala lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yala lai 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 yai la la lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 lai.
Leah, don't sit down. Leah, you're going to come to this podium here and share with us your own reflections on this very, very special day. So we turn back to you.
The Torah portion that was given to me is about how the people in the age of the Torah dealt with infections in their clothes or shoes. So if there was an infection anywhere on the clothing, the people would take it to be examined by the priests. The priests were the ones in charge of making sure that infections did not spread in their community. After the priest examined the clothing, they isolate isolated the clothing for 7 days. On the seventh day, the priest checked on the clothing. If the infection had spread over the past 7 days, then the priest burned it. If the infection hadn't spread, the priest would wash it again and then isolate it again for 7 more days. If the infection was still there, the priest would burn it. If the infection was faded, the priest would rip it from the clothing. But if the infection came back, it would, as you can probably guess, be burned. If the infection was gone, it would be washed again and then it would be clean. The people thought that if their clothes had an infection, then God would not be with them. Clothing was scarce in the age of Torah, so giving it away to possibly be burned was a big sacrifice. They wanted their community to be healthy and be with God, so the sacrifice was necessary. This can be seen presently in how people are dealing with COVID-19. Many people around the world are also making big sacrifices for the good of the community, just like the people burning their clothes from the Torah. Except the sacrifices people are making are very different. They have to go to do work and school from their houses, not socialize with friends, not go out to restaurants, and people can't visit their families. There are also routine sacrifices you need to make, like wearing a mask when you are near people, be distanced from everyone, and stay in your house for most of your day. These are all sacrifices that people are making for maintaining a healthy and normal environment again. People need to think of helping others during this time, not only themselves. It's important to not be selfish in situations like these because you could never know what could happen. There are many people out there who are selfless and make sacrifices for others. For example, your parents. Parents help you out with problems. They give you food and a place to live. They make sacrifices like changing plans if you don't feel well. They give you tools to help with things that you need to do, like online school. Another example of people who are selfless would be teachers. Teachers wake up early every day to go to a school to help people learn. They give you knowledge so that you have the best possible chance to succeed. They have to deal with problems and questions and help you learn important things. You can be selfless by helping people and by being a friend. For example, you can start food drives, clothing drives, and start fundraisers to help out. You can be there for your friends when they need you. In conclusion, the sacrifices people made so that their community would be clean and healthy are similar to the sacrifices people are making now so that the community is healthy and normal again. Even though this Torah portion is only about the procedure of getting rid of an infection on your clothes, it also shows that the people were willing to make sacrifices for the good of everyone's health and beliefs. And speaking of sacrifices, I'd like to thank all the people who helped me get here. I'd like to thank my Hebrew tutor, Eric, for being supportive and helping me learn all this stuff, the rabbi and the cantors for giving good feedback for my meetings, and my family for being encouraging. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom and Mazal Tov. Leah, I think you, deserve to take a load off and sit down and relax because you have done everything. Not only have you done everything, you've done it beautifully. Congratulations. I get to be the first of what is clearly a people here and many people I see on the Zoom to say Mazel Tov to you, Leah, for everything that this day represents, for leading us beautifully in worship, for chanting one of the most obscure and difficult Torah portions in the most beautiful voice. You have such a beautiful voice. And equally importantly, or really even more importantly to me, looking into this Torah portion, which seems so disconnected from our lives, and finding meaning. Not only meaning for you, but messages for all of us to take away from this day. And the message that you found in this clearly antiquated and somewhat bizarro Torah portion, right? The Tazria Mitzorah is the Torah portion that we feel so badly for. It's the one Torah portion is quite difficult with all of this stuff about the disease and the mold and how irrelevant this is to us. And yet, when we look at what's happening in our world today, we realize not so irrelevant, and that the Jewish people, the Israelites in the desert, were doing what we are doing now. We're trying to imagine how to keep things from spreading and really negatively impacting a community. But you went further than just the technical parallel. I mean, you saw, and we could see, the parallel between this ancient time and being scared of disease of any sort and today. But you went deeper and you made it more personal, and you gave us a challenge, a charge, that we should also think about how we can act in a selfless way that enables our family, our friends, our community, even people we do not know and may never know, to be safe and healthy. And let's use clean with a small c in a way. And I love that you talked about this idea of selflessness, because becoming a bat mitzvah is in many ways really going in that, it is about people starting to go in that direction. When we talk about bar and bat mitzvah, we talk about it as the age of responsibility. And interestingly, in Hebrew, the word responsibility, achrayut, gives us a little hint to the very topic you talked about, Leah, selflessness. The word achrayut has at its beginning the word acher, the other, someone else. Being a responsible person is about beginning to see the needs of the other above the needs of yourself. And that's what you talked about today. You talked about whether they're teachers or parents, whether they are police, whether they are doctors, all these people who are putting themselves out there for the betterment of other people. That selflessness, they are taking on a communal responsibility as you are stepping into the age of responsibility, the age of achrayut, the time when we begin to acknowledge the needs of the other and step up to respond to those needs. All of us at different times in our lives come to realize this importance. Congratulations to you for doing so at this young age, for looking into this hard and strange text and finding a message that is universal. It's not even just for the Jewish community, it's for all of us, that we should step into our own responsibility and be a little bit less selfish for the betterment of our families, community, and world. So thank you to you, Leah. And we, Cantor Shakit and myself, on behalf of all the clergy and the temple family, hope that you'll continue to practice the very words you've spoken about today, that you will go forward and make a difference in the world because you're willing to see other people and their needs and step up to respond. We hope that in doing that, you'll bring many blessings, not only to your family, but to your community, your friends, and your world. Cantor Shakit and I want to thank you for this message. Thank you for being a blessing for us today, and encourage you to continue to be a blessing. So I want to invite you to come here to the edge of the bima with Deb, with Ryan, your mom, your dad, your brother Bobby, Roberto, and join a moment here of blessing. Won't you come and stand with us now?
Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
Leah, may God bless you and may God keep you.
Yaher Adonai panav elecha v'yiruneka.
As you have shown so beautifully upon this congregation, this community, your family today, may God shine upon you throughout your life.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha.
And may God grant you all the things that you want, that you need, that you deserve, but especially shalom, peace, a peace that lives inside of you, a peace that you share with the members of your family, and a peace that you, through your gifts, bring into our world. Amen.
Amen. May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face be radiant as the brightness of the sky. May your lips speak words of wisdom, and may the world you live in be the world of your dreams. May you be blessed with understanding, with wisdom and compassion in your heart. May your tongue be filled with song and your lips sing out for justice. These are the prayers we have for you. May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face be radiant as the brightness of the sky. May your lips speak words of wisdom, and may the world you live in be the world of your dreams. May the world you live in be the world of your dreams. And now, Leah and everyone, we continue with our concluding prayer, so we can actually invite you to go back to your seats but remain standing, and have everyone else join you in rising as we turn in our prayer books to page 282, as we chant together the words of Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liyotzeh bereshit, shehu notesh shamayim v'yoset aretz, umoshav yikaro b'shamayim ima'al, ושכינת עוזו בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
And please remain standing and join me on page 294. We've come now to a moment of memory, thinking of all those people in this extended family who we wish could be here on this special day. In particular, at this time, we remember Leah's grandparents, Bob and Beverly Oremland. They are, for sure, Leah, with you in the many people who loved them and knew them and bring their spirit to you today. We honor them and all those people who have died at this season in years past with the recitation of Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish. Again, page 294. We say together, Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chaye chon u'vyome chon u'v'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'vizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach leolam omei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, shemei d'kudusha birchu. Leolam mimkol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'almiran ba'alma v'imeru, amen. Yehi shloma rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May the source of peace and comfort and strength to everyone who is mourning, everyone who is grieving, here and everywhere, and let us say, Amen. Won't you please be seated? Over to you, Ken or Shaka.
Leah, we have some gifts for you from the congregation that I'll tell you about. First of all, Mazel Tov to you. And tucked in here, you will find an application to cantorial school, which I do hope that you will fill out shortly and set your sights on becoming a cantor. You have an amazing voice, and you did such a great job today. I hope that you will keep music as part of your life and Judaism. We have several gifts for you. One is this gift certificate. Not gift certificate. This will not get you anything other than just the ability to look back on this day and say how beautiful it was. I hope that you always remember this day when you look at this certificate. It's made by a member of our congregation and signed by Rabbi Schwartzman and myself. In addition, we have a home prayer book as a gift from the women of TRS. We have gift certificates that include travel in Israel from NIFTY, the North American Federation of Temple Youth, during your high school years. We have a gift certificate from our youth committee, Tristy, a travel mug from Tristy, and a Kiddush cup from all of us on the clergy team that we hope you'll lift high every Shabbat and say L'chaim and remember this special moment in your life. So Mazel Tov to you, Leah, Mazel Tov, Deb and Ryan and Bobby, and all of the family and friends that are here. I know that you all look forward to greeting the people on Zoom after the service. So if you're watching on Zoom, if you'll stay on the Zoom call, it'll take a few minutes for Leah and her family to get to a different room to join you, but they will be there in just a few moments. Again, we hope to see you all at another Simcha, another time here at Temple Road Shalom. And we conclude our service with the singing of Ein Keloheinu. It's found on page 322 in your prayer books. Please rise, join us in Ein Keloheinu, and stay standing for the final benediction. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kel Malkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Mi Eloheinu, Mi Kadonenu, Mi Kel Malkeinu, Mi Kemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel El Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu.
Inspired by the words that Leah shared with us today, may all of us go forward from this Shabbat to make our contribution to the world with selflessness, with an open heart, with caring of others. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.